primarily epic players, action play, and a new neurodivergent play series. My name is Margaret Hall. I am the Executive Director of the Autistic Theater Makers Alliance, and we are incredibly proud to welcome you here to the Belasco for this talkback. Show of hands, how many people here identify as autistic?
Me.
I myself am autistic, as is the entirety of the leadership for the Autistic Theater Makers Alliance. As is many of the cast members you saw up here tonight, which is a first in Broadway history. To have seven autistic characters. Having a public discussion for you all, and then we will be taking questions from the audience. So think about any questions you have about the show and their work, and be ready to belt it out to me once we get to that time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all. Thank you for spending some time on your very busy evening to be with us. We really all appreciate it. Let's all go around and say our name, the character we play, and our pronouns.
Hi, I'm Liam Pierce. I play Drew, and I use he and pronouns.
Hi, my name is Edmund Sedgwick. My pronouns are they, he, and I play Remy.
Hi, I'm Imani Russell. I use they, them pronouns, and I play Mel.
Margaret Hall, and for those of you wondering, I use she, her pronouns.
Madison Kopek, they, she.
Amelia Faye, she, her, and I play Caroline.
Connor Tay, he, him, and I play Tommy.
Hi, I'm Ashley Bull, she, her, and I play Jessica.
Now, all of you have been attached to the show for quite some time. What has it been like for you to inhabit these openly autistic roles as openly autistic actors?
He tells me to start it, so I'm going to start it, even though I'm late. Just like my character, it's fine. No, I mean, I think we can all agree. The word that keeps coming up in interviews when people ask us about this is liberating, wouldn't you say? Because I think prior to this show, Connor and Madison, you were the only ones who actually played autistic roles previously. You were on Law & Order SVU.
Yeah.
And Madison originated a different canonically autistic role in a musical that, funnily enough, premiered in Ohio last summer. And I think it's sparked so many interesting conversations with other people in our lives, with our family and friends, other autistic people, and friends and family and educators of autistic people. I know for me personally, some of the most rewarding conversations have been with people in education who really understand from all angles how important this work is and this representation is. So, I'm going to stop talking.
I would actually like to add on to that. So basically, just what I love about being in the show, like overall, is not only these guys, but also just the amazing story that we tell. Because this story really opens a lot of eyes, and everyone feels seen and heard after seeing the show. Like every night when we go out the stage door and we see someone, we like, I love your show and I'm autistic as well, and that really makes us feel very great, because we know that we did a really great job telling a real story, and we did it right.
I just made a post about it, so this is perfect. I can just recite now. What they both kind of sum it up perfectly. Prior to getting the job, I never openly told anyone that I'm autistic, and I've also never been able to. And I think I can speak for most of us too. Like, we've never been in a room with so many actors who are autistic. So the whole experience has been like very validating, very, very empowering, and yeah, I learned so many things about myself, and through the show and through all of my castmates and through our community, this show has given me a truly like lifelong friendship, family, and a new community I can lean on. So I'm very happy.
Musical theater is a really fickle thing, and it finds everyone in very different ways. What was the moment that made you fall in love with this as a career path?
So I actually wasn't going to do musical theater. I wanted to be an architect. I went to an engineering high school, and then in middle school I was in band, and I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do, but maybe I'm going to be an architect, maybe I'm going to be an engineer. I was in digital electronics, all that stuff. And I actually started theater my sophomore year of high school, and I was sound designer, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do sound designing for Hamlet, and I composed full orchestral pieces for our play, which were featured in the performance. And then I was like, wait, I kind of want to perform, like, why not? And like, the thing is, like, as a kid, like, I used to always sing, but then, you know, growing up as intersex, you know, I went through a lot of vocal trauma, and I was like, I'm never singing again. And then it turns out that all that vocal trauma that I had was actually a strength of mine when I auditioned for Lord Pickleton and Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. I was the only person that was able to, the only male presenting person that was able to hit the high notes in that song. So, yeah.
Anyone else?
Repeat the question?
What was the moment that made you fall in love with musical theater?
Okay, this I can answer. Well, I've always loved musical theater ever since I was like 10. But you know, back then I used to like watch a lot of films on VHS and reenact most of them. And that was when I decided, do I want to perform? But then I did Billie Jean in my talent show and won. I was like dressed up and everything. And then action play happens. Then my high school, I did more shows in my high school, and then leading up to my college, I did more school, I did more shows in my college, Deer Film Academy. There's an alumni here, Melissa! But yeah, and then I found out about this during my time with Epic Players, which they're here as well. And yeah, I mean, I've been performing for a really long time, and then, well, this happened in between, and, well, the rest is history.
There are so many special idiosyncratic moments in this show. It's one of the reasons why I love coming back to see it, because I always see something new depending on which of you I'm watching. What is a moment in the show that isn't necessarily your big splashy moment, but that you particularly treasure? Your own characters or something someone else does?
So one particular moment is during the second chance dance when Drew's like, what? I don't know what you say there.
That list we made describes these versions.
Yes, that.
This we made is the person who's here. You lost your courage every day that you.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Whenever he says it, he looks at each of us, and like every single time I feel it. Like, you know, because like we truly have been together for like I don't know how many years, but 2.5. Thank you. Liam coming to my rescue. Yeah, but like 2.5 years, and I remember it all started with like that choreo session that we had with our choreographer Maite Batalio, And I remember it was all like gesture training. Like we didn't talk, we were just giving gestures to each other. It was like Meisner, but like with gestures. It was wow. And I remember it was like, okay, you're gonna give us like thumbs up, or like, you know, like things like, you know, we have gestures for like a lot of things that we do, so like thanks, I'm fine, or like, you know, an anxious one. And I remember like whenever somebody would show like an anxious, like, you know, gesture, we would come up and be like, hello, or like, you know, thumbs up, and like it was just like, it became a way of like cheering each other up, and like it was just nonverbal communication. It was surreal. And I remember after we just came like together, we just like hugged each other. It was like the first time we were able to like bond as a cast, because like we did the 29-hour reading, but we didn't really like talk to each other. So yeah,
I mean, I got moments for each of you. Yeah, definitely that one. The 2 readings of the email. I love Mel's scene in the workplace. It tears your heart out, and I think it's often received in very different and eye-opening ways to the autistic audience versus the non-autistic audience, and I think it's just a brilliantly written scene. I love your eyebrows.
You can't argue with that.
And I love Madison's deadpan. Can I leave? and I love Amelia's. I just love everything we do together, because you know when we're on the bed doing so much in common, we're just like messing with each other the whole time, and it's great. And one thing I love about, I love a lot of things about Des. Mr. Clean, that Baltimore was a nightmare, and Autistic Spice both came from
I'm so sorry, I have to explain this. Our writer, Rebecca, was like, oh, you can say whatever you want to me, so I took advantage of that. And I remember the first time I said Autistic Spice, it was so funny that I kept laughing, and our director was like, I keep going with that scene, we're doing a run through, and I couldn't stop laughing, and I was crying with laughter, and when as soon as I said, I was like, Autistic Spice, and everybody stopped, and all of the neurotypical people were like, that loud. Yeah.
It was a real moment where, like, the non-autistic people in the room were getting to know us and getting to know our humor.
Oh yeah, they were gooped and gagged. Like,
Incredible. We're going to open up to questions from the audience. Please raise your hand.
I have something.
Yes, okay, what's your question?
Well, this is actually a comment, but
Speak up!
yeah. Okay, so I really love the scene where you guys are learning social skills, right? Because it resonated with me, because like throughout my childhood, I've taken social skills classes, and the way I saw the social skills class in the scene tonight really made me wish I was in a room like you guys were, and I just, you know, and believe me, as an actor and a playwright with neurodivergent abilities, I mean, that scene was brilliant. Brilliant. What did it take to make a scene like that? It was just so amazing. It was just so amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I wasn't. I promise I'm gonna get to that. I'm doing a prologue. I wasn't assessed for autism until I was an adult, and so I never really understood why I was struggling so much socially, and I know that gender can have an effect on the way that autism gets assessed and things like that, and so I think I was a bit neglected in that way, and so I had to try and figure out on my own how to interact with other people socially in a way that wouldn't make me seem weird or whatever. And so I think something that has been beautiful about this is that for the first time I feel like I'm in a space where I can just exist as like, you know, all of the oddities that to, you know, maybe non-autistic people were weird or whatever are just like normal and encouraged and all of that here. And so I think that that's sort of what you're seeing in those scenes is that like, I don't know, I've read some reviews. Some people are like, for people in social skills class, they like each other too much.
The scene was brilliant.
But also I think that even in the documentary you see the people that these characters that they're based on, they have their own way of interacting and showing their love for each other. And I think that like the social skills class is for sort of outside of the safe autistic space. I don't know if that fully answers your question, but I think that's sort of like the building of our community and our friendship is what helped make those scenes come alive.
Well, this city and you all have changed my life in so many ways. This play really proved it.
Hi. So, hey guys. I just want to say, I think all of us here are eternally grateful that this show and you guys have come to Broadway. I mean, like, even though most of us have seen each other for the first time, it feels like we've known you guys all our lives. I want to talk about one of my favorite moments, one of my favorite aspects of the show, which is the moment you guys all first come out at the beginning. And it always touches my spirit. Because, I don't know if you know this, but How to Dance Ohio is technically speaking the first ever, not just autistic show with an entirely autistic, but technically speaking, if you think about it, the first sensory-friendly musical on Broadway. Like, come on, yeah, that's amazing. Yes! I gotta ask, was there something about it that like really spoke to you, or just the fact that you were gonna make something that was this like sensory-friendly and open to? And honestly, what do you believe that this show can hopefully inspire future Broadway shows or Broadway-like producers to continue in the future?
Oh, I got answers. Personally, I've learned a lot about different manifestations of sensory sensitivities and different things to consider that I had never considered before. And I think all of us can say that. And a big reason for that is because from the get-go and from the top down, the producers and the creative team have cultivated an environment where accessibility is the top priority. And, you know, actors are not traditionally encouraged to talk about what they need or, like, allowed to speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it. So, to have, for instance, an accessibility needs survey given out at the beginning of every rehearsal process to everyone in the cast and the crew, autistic or not, you know, disabled or not, just because even if you don't have a diagnosed disability, everybody has different preferences, everybody has different learning styles, and to create an environment where we can openly talk about those things and not feel like we're going to be judged or judge other people, and just, you know, embrace that with curiosity and an open mind, that has been really liberating, and it's really done a lot for cultivating the great relationships that we have with each other and really with everyone on this team. Like I feel like the design team and the crew and everybody always says like, this is the best work environment I've ever had, and it's because accessibility is about everyone.
Unfortunately, we have hit our point of time for the evening. However, this show is running here at the Velasco through February 11th. Tell your friends to come. There are more than 20 opportunities to come back to Lido Family Counseling. Take the opportunity. There will be more. Talk back, participate. Take a look at the one sheet that you were given upon your entrance to the talk. talkback for more information about autistic theater companies here in New York City and support accessibility for all. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Connor! Connor!
Oh my god, another actor. Oh my god.
Over here and say hi.
Oh my god.